You and me, hanging from the willow tree, quietly drifting in the open breeze. Suddenly, the wind blows.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the End Zone. Steve here, and with me is my very best friend and co-host from across the pond, Jeffrey Cross. How you doing, Jeff?
Doing well, sir. How you doing on this fine Sunday?
Hyped, man, hyped. Those games last weekend were crazy. If these games today are anything like last weekend's games, we're in for one hell of a Sunday, sir.
Yes, we are. It's unbelievable how those games yesterday were. It's best weekend of football I've ever seen.
Well, you've always told me. You said that last weekend that's the best weekend in football. You said those games are always the best games, and
Yeah.
but you said they aren't normally that good.
Right. They're not normally that good, but with having 4 games on 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, man. And you would think the first game, it was like, what do I want to say here? Oh, that was a great game, won by a field goal. Next game says, no, you hold my beer. And then Sunday was like, hell with both of those Saturday games. Because look at our game.
We were both saying we're like if those games tomorrow are anything like today's games, they're going to be crazy. And they, like you say, they were just amazing. So
Yeah, it was like each game topped the other game. It was like unbelievable. I'm still like flabbergasted today, a week later.
Well, anyway, welcome along to our show. This is our second ever live show. If you are not following us, make sure you're following us over on Twitter. We are at the End Zone. You can see the at the top of the. There we go, up there. So you can see the name on Twitter there. You will be able to see where we're going live. We've also got a YouTube channel where we upload the VOD of this show. So if you do miss the live show, you can always check that out there. But yeah, Jeff, today we're going to start recapping last week's games, going over those because they were amazing, and then obviously talk about the upcoming big games that we've got later on this evening, and obviously a lot of other news that's going on at the moment in the NFL. So if we start off, let's go over the first game of last weekend, which was the Bengals versus the Titans. The Bengals managed to steal that with a field goal, like you said. They won it 19-16. Well, I say they stole it, but like I think everyone agrees that the Bengals played better. But my point that I was trying to make to people was, if one of those teams left stuff out on the field, I feel it was the Titans, not the Bengals. How did you see that game?
100%. Tennessee really showed that week off. You know, some teams it doesn't bother them, but you could tell that Titans just weren't there. I mean, Henry didn't look like Henry coming, what 10 weeks he missed, something like that.
Do you think he was ready, or do you think they rushed him back because obviously the occasion, and why not, right?
I don't think they rushed him back, but it probably would have been a little bit better if he could have played in that last game.
So it was just rust more than
Rust.
anything.
He didn't look like he had any oomph in him, you know? As soon as he got hit, he would go right down. I mean, it just showed on the 2 fourth downs that he couldn't even get a yard.
Right.
Couldn't even get a yard. And usually he just trucks people, you know?
Yeah.
So, Tannehill, garbage. Just gonna say it. Straight garbage. If they had any quarterback on that game, Titans,
They would have won it.
they would have won that. Don't get me wrong, Bengals, man, their offense is legit, and they're going to be scary for years to come. It shouldn't have been that close, though. I mean, the 3 turnovers the Titans had is just devastating. I mean, Bengals pretty much like, hey, I'll let you in this game. You want to hang around? I mean, you can win this game, and Titans did make it all the way back, and Bengals had to win it on the first of many last field goals to win the game. To be honest, though, I wasn't like, ooh, this is a great game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 1916, but really, I was just like, eh. It was exciting, though, for a playoff game. Don't get me wrong.
For the first game as well. I mean, I think people, it got people hyped in that.
Yeah, because I really think people see. I said it in the last podcast on our very first episode. I said people underestimating Cincinnati. Cincinnati's definitely is a good team. Now they're gonna have to they're gonna score. Now
Right.
will their defense hold up for 4 quarters?
Yeah.
And it did, and it showed. I mean, for crying out loud, Titans sacked Joe Burrow 9 times, and they still
9.
won the ball game. So
Damn. Welcome on into the stream, Tony. How you doing, bud? Good to see you, man.
hey, Tony,
I hope you managed to get some sleep.
yeah, got a little bit of sleep.
He was up all night watching that Rumble last night. If you're not following Get the Tables, guys, make sure you check out Get the Tables. Good friend of us over here at the End Zone. We're all Get the Tables guys here.
That's right.
So, and the other thing with that game, Jeff, is like people were saying, especially more towards the end of the season, you know, they were saying, don't sleep on them Titans. You know, they were seen as like, you know, the kind of the sleeping giant, the team that was going under the radar, that everyone was like, you know, they're good and they're going to get Henry back and blah, 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 you know what I mean? But it just didn't pan out, did it? They, you know.
No, their defense played well enough to win that game, but their offense let them down. Really let
Yeah.
them down. I mean, Derrick Henry had 20 carries for 62 yards. That's 3.1
Yeah.
carry. Un-Henry like.
What's that saying that you have in the NFL? Big players turn up for big games?
Yeah, big time players, big time. Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
does,
he's coming. I see. I can't really say much because he's coming off that injury, man. And you never know how you're gonna.
yeah, but
You know,
we say it over here in football, right? We often see, you know, or soccer, I should say, over here.
yeah.
You know, when there's a big game, you know, coaches or whatever, they will play their key player even when they're not fit and they're not ready, you know. And we kind of say if the player's not good enough, you know, if he's not fit enough, he shouldn't play, no matter how big the game is. You
Yeah,
know,
but you know how these athletes are, man. I was the same way. I mean, I played semi-pro soccer, and I was like, man, if I can walk, I'm playing. I'm playing soccer. I mean, you're gonna have to drag me off this field. I
yeah.
mean, multiple times I played with injuries. I mean, not nothing like Henry was playing with, but I mean, I played with hairline fractures, cracked ribs before, and the guy's like, "You're not playing." And I was like, "The hell with this? This is a semifinal round. I'm playing. You ain't keeping me out of this game." Yeah.
But
So
well, it was a great game to start the weekend. It got the ball rolling. You know, people were like, okay, if these games, you know, are like this, then you know, definitely. And then, sorry, go on, yeah.
no, I was going to just say, and the rookie Jamar Chase from Cincinnati, man, just straight nasty. 5 catches for 109 yards. Oh, what can you do? This guy, he's unstoppable. And then you got Joe Mixon, and you got T Higgins, and Tyler Boyd only had 2 receptions, and they
Yeah.
didn't even really throw to him. And he's another guy, and it's just, like they got weapons everywhere.
Okay, well we can go more into that later when we talk about their game today. But if the game I was really excited for, because you know me, I you know I like Aaron Rodgers. You know, when I say I like Aaron Rodgers, I'm not talking about you know the guy. You know, I mean I think he's fine. You know, I don't dislike the guy at all. But as a quarterback, I love watching Aaron Rodgers. I think what he can do with that football is just unprecedented. It's crazy. And I was really hyped for that game, and I thought, and I think you know the bookmakers thought, and pretty much everyone on planet Earth thought that this was going to be one of the most easiest games of you know the latter games for the Packers against the 49ers, and the 49ers won it 13-10. And
Yeah,
and not only that, didn't they win it without even scoring a single offensive touchdown?
yeah, no offensive touchdown. They got a field goal. What is it? The special teams, the block punt, I think it was.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah. Special teams basically won that game.
Yeah, 100%.
It was crazy.
You wouldn't have thought that though when the game started because Aaron Rodgers just went right down the field, bing, bam, boom, touchdown. You're like, oh, if this is how it's going to go, it's going to be a long day for San Francisco. But you got to give props to that San Francisco defense, man. They really balled out and confused Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was 20 for 29, 225 yards, no touchdowns. He was sacked 5 times. They really put the pressure on Aaron Rodgers. It was, I hate to say it, Aaron Rodgers is starting to get labeled as a regular season quarterback in a dud in the playoffs. He hasn't won a Super Bowl in 10 years. You know, they've lost what it was back-to-back conference championships last year and the previous year, and he just he doesn't show up in these playoffs, man. It's
Yeah.
strange to see.
And then, of course, that that video was doing the rounds on social media after the game of showing him after he was drafted, and the I can't remember who it was that interviewed him, but they asked him, are you how do you feel about are you still disappointed about not being drafted by the 49ers?
Yeah.
His response was, they're gonna regret not drafting me, basically,
and they've never won a game. He's never beat the 49ers.
He's never beaten them. So I don't think
He's
the
never...
49ers are regretting that decision too much right now. But,
no.
We have to also take into consideration all the games that he's won, right? Not just now. But does it matter? Does it matter how many games you win if you don't win the important games?
It depends on who you ask. But over here in the United States, Steve, championships make you.
Yeah, if you win every single game, like season, main season game, and then you lose the divisional playoff or championship game, does any of that matter?
No.
I guess it depends.
I'll give you I'll give you a prime example. Eli Manning of New York Giants. A lot of people don't think he is a Hall of Famer. You look at his win-loss record. You look at his touchdown to interception ratio. Terrible. But look. He showed up twice and took them Giants that were 9-7 and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
believe it or not, he's got more Super Bowl victories than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and that San Francisco offense. I mean, they got Debo, but Jimmy Garoppolo, man.
Yeah, everyone. See what you're doing there. That's what everyone I see talk about Jimmy Garoppolo does. They're like, Jimmy G, like is he really the guy? And like everyone's like, do you want Jimmy G as your quarterback? And they're like, no, hell no,
Mm-mm.
But what are they going to be saying if somehow these 49ers are able to win this game today and go to the Super Bowl?
Ah, my God, yeah. Look, let me rattle these stats off for you, Steve.
Okay.
Jimmy Garoppolo last week, 11 for 19, 131 yards, a pick, sacked 4 times. His QBR, 11.9.
So all those stats and all these, like we were saying, all those games that the 49ers lost this season, does any of that, does any of that matter if they win today?
No.
It doesn't, does it?
No.
So
but they're gonna have problems on their hands if he does win today. I'll just say that right now. It's a good problem to have, though, but it's a problem.
What are you referring to?
Because if he takes them to the Super Bowl, again, what are they gonna do with that first round pick that they did in Trey Lance? Are they gonna keep Jimmy Garoppolo? Trade Lance?
How good is Lance?
Yeah, he's pretty damn good.
How many more years has Garoppolo got on him, do you think?
I think he only has 1 year left on his contract.
Yeah, but how many years do you think how old is he?
He's still young. He's not even 30 yet, I don't think.
Well, there's some big teams out there right now that are looking for quarterbacks, I hear, Jeff.
Yeah. We'll get to that later on.
We'll have to see, I guess. But and then obviously the Rams and the Bucks. What a game! So the Rams, the Rams managed to get the win, 30-27.
Oh boy, get the tables in here. Tony was sweating bullets. Saying they lost in the first quarter, giving up on them.
This game was crazy because we got a group chat, guys, right? And I was messaging the guys because Tony Get the Tables, he's a big Brady and a Bucks fan, and he was sweating buckets, and we were all kind of mocking him, going, the Bucks are going home, all that kind of stuff. And then, oh my God, it was like, Tony, they've won it, and then
Brady being Brady, man. And I'm telling you, Steve, when this game was, I believe, what was it, 27? Was it 27-7 or 27-3? 27-3. I saw Brady. You know how they have those Surface laptops over there, and they're looking like, hey, let me see what they're doing to me because I can't do this, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Brady was over there calling Satan and like selling his soul to Satan right there. Because then all of a sudden they couldn't move the ball. Then all of a sudden Rams turnover. It is like, are you shitting me? Is this shit really happening? Is this shit really happening? I mean, I don't like Tom Brady. I respect Tom Brady. He's a GOAT. I admit that. But it's like, this guy's got a horseshoe up his ass. It was just unbelievable. Next thing you know, the game is tied 27-27. They come all the way back after Tampa Bay was just getting decimated. Now, to Brady's defense, his offensive line, I think they were on their third or fourth string right tackle as well. So that guy over there was just I mean, Von Miller and Aaron Donald were just teeing off on those offensive linemen. I mean, Tom Brady gets the ball out quicker than anybody in the league, and he was still getting sacked.
Yeah,
or getting hit. So I mean, he still had a good game. He threw 54 times. 54 times.
Damn.
30 for 54 for 329 and one touchdown and one pick. But it was Brady. Man, it's unbelievable how they came back. That game, I mean, I feel bad for Tony because you go from the highest for highs to lowest to lows because the game is tied at 27 apiece. And then I can't even remember. Was it like a minute left in the game? I can't remember. Maybe even less than that. And they let all-world receiver Cooper Kupp get wide open, go one-on-one. No one over the top of safety help. And they blitz Matthew Stafford with 20 seconds to go, and they hit a bomb to get him in field goal range. I don't know what Tampa Bay was thinking. That was just dumb. Because I will say this, they were getting when they Tampa Bay was starting that comeback, their defense started picking it up. Their defense was not playing well, for 3.5 quarters. And then that last half of that fourth quarter, they were putting a lot of pressure. You don't blitz in that situation.
Yeah.
Not only if you do blitz, you got to have safety help over the top. They left that guy one-on-one with Cooper Kupp. And Matthew Stafford saw that. He was salivating.
Yeah.
All he had to do was beat that cornerback off the line, and it was a game.
Yeah.
Game. And it's just like, oh, this can't be happening. But it couldn't happen to a better person because I didn't want Brady to win again anyway. So.
Do you think that would have been the best possible, like, out of those 8 teams, do you think that game would have been the best possible game to have had as the Super Bowl?
What, the Rams Tampa Bay?
Yeah, if that game had been like, the Super Bowl matchup, do you think that would have been the best one, or do you think there would have been a better one?
Nah.
What 2 teams out of those 8 would you have liked to, if you could have handpicked for the Super Bowl?
A lot of people don't want to hear this, because a lot of people are like, oh, they've already played, they've done this. I wanted to see a rematch with Tampa Bay and Kansas City, and I'll tell you why. Kansas City last year in the Super Bowl's offensive line was devastated, and Tampa Bay's defensive line ate them up. Mahomes had no time to throw, so
yeah.
Kansas City's pretty healthy right now in that offensive line, and I would have liked to seen the Bucks KC rematch. I really did. A lot of people don't want to see it because they're like, "Oh, Brady's already been in there. Kansas City's been to the last 2 Super Bowls." Blah blah blah. But man, when you got Mahomes versus Brady, man, you can't go wrong with that, man. That's money making right there.
Yeah,
100%.
And then finally, Jeff, the last game, which I thought was the best game of them all, was absolutely nuts. Was the Bills and the Chiefs, and the Chiefs win that game 42-36. What the heck?
25 points, Steve. Listen to this, chat. 25 points in the last 2 minutes of that ball game. 25. It's like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, dude. That guy, he's got cojones on him, buddy.
Yeah, he does. I like the guy.
This guy is the real deal. I mean, I know he was real. He's a gunslinger. But, man, did he just, like, drive them down. He was like, you going to score on me? I'll score right back. You going to score? I'll get a 2-point conversion, take a 3-point lead. Patrick Mahomes with 13 seconds. Like, now you hold my beer, bitch. Man, this game, this was the game of the weekend, man.
Yeah. See, what I like about Josh Allen, right, Jeff, is that and I'm not an expert, guys, all right, but like, I feel that he is a really good thrower of the ball. I like the way he throws the ball. I'm not
He
talking.
anticipates very well.
Yeah, and I'm not even talking about his accuracy and stuff like that. But I do think that is amazing. I'm just talking about the way the ball comes out. He has got velocity, and he can whip that ball. And because we've seen quarterbacks, they've got the accuracy and they can, but sometimes you need that zip. That
Touchdown by Gabriel Davis, the last touchdown that they scored.
Yeah.
Man, he zipped that ball in there. It was like, phew!
Yeah.
And there was a defensive back right behind him, and it still got it in there.
Exactly. Yes, I love that. And then what I like about him is that he has got some mobility as well. So if you're playing a team that can take that passing game away from you, he can run as well. And
well, yep, he can. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say that that gives him a lot of options, and I like options, Jeff.
Yep. And I told you in our previous podcast, I said, God, why does this keep coming on? Sorry. I said that they don't have a running game. They probably run 15 times, right? And 8 of them would be Josh Allen. They had 24 carries for 109 yards, right? That's 4.5 a clip. That's
thanks for the host, Tony.
But here's the thing. Josh Allen carried it for 11 times. He had the most carries. He had 68 yards, 6.2 a clip. The longest was 14 yards. Then you had Singletary, 10 carries, 26 yards, 1 touchdown. But that's 2.6. And then you had some guy, McKenzie, I don't even know who he is. But he 3 carries for 15 yards. So he's all world right now. I mean, he can beat you with his arm. He can beat you with his leg. And they were running that RPO, man. And Kansas City couldn't stop that either.
Yeah.
And Jesus, and oh, man. The wide receiver, Gabriel Davis, man, did he have a day. A record, actually. A record day. 8 receptions, 201 yards, and 4. Yes, you heard me right. 4 touchdowns. A long of 75 yards, too. So he's not just dinking and dunking. And their best wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, 3 receptions, a measly 7 yards.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that Buffalo, man, woo! Told you were gonna have to try to outscore Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely.
And they had it. They had it not once but twice in the last 2 minutes.
So
they had it.
So did the best team win that game, Jeff, or was it more just they happened to be in possession of the ball at the right time?
I think these are your 2 best teams in the National Football League.
Okay.
This would have been a nice Super Bowl.
This would have been a great Super Bowl,
but they can't do it because of both AFC teams. But
yeah,
Kansas City Patrick Mahomes has never lost at home on a playoff game.
I think isn't Patrick Mahomes the highest paid quarterback at the moment?
I don't even know, to be honest. He's up there.
If he's not the highest, he's doing all right, and he's making a few bucks. So but my point is that I think we did see especially at the end of the game there, why he's getting paid those big bucks, because at the end of the day he did make that last throw. He did he did what he needed to do, and he got the Chiefs. I mean,
to get him to overtime, Steve, was ridiculous because Buffalo messed up. They really did. They should have squib kicked. They had 13 seconds left, right?
Yeah.
They're kicking the ball off to Kansas City. They kick it. Like, they give it a touchback. So they started at the 25. No time comes off the clock. If you squib kick that, they got to pick it up and time goes off the clock. You're gone. I don't think they're going to kneel it down, because you can, even though it's in the field of play, you can just take a knee and then time stops. Well, that's definitely going to take 1 or 2 seconds off the clock. So maybe you have 11 seconds. But not only did they mess up there and not squib kick it, you let Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce on back-to-back plays burn you up the middle.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Was that a little bit of I don't know, like big game inexperience from the Bills or what? I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Apparently, Kelce had come back to Travis Kelce had gone back to Mahomes earlier in the game. This was put out by Twitter from someone, I can't remember his name, from NFL work. That he went up to him as like, look, they're taking Tyreek this way, but they're leaving me wide open down on this seam. And guess what? To get them in field goal range, guess where Travis Kelsey was? Right down the middle of that seam of that defense. I
Yeah.
mean, pinpoint perfect pass, and they line them up for the tie-in field goal, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Because the emotions is like Buffalo, Kansas City has the lead, Buffalo takes the lead, and Kansas City comes back. No, Buffalo, and then the Kansas City ties it up. Man, the roller coaster of emotions there. I'm
Yeah.
glad that wasn't the Eagles playing, bro, because I would have never survived that.
It was an amazing game. I
Actually,
loved it.
something would have been broken in my house. I can tell you, would have thrown something.
I felt sorry for a lot of football fans that weekend because I mean, one minute you were going to the next round, the next minute you're going home. Like it was crazy. But for neutrals like myself, those games were amazing. I loved every single one of them. And what made it crazier was each game was better than the previous.
It was.
Do you know what I mean? It was literally, it was nuts.
Yeah. Hold my beer, hold my beer, hold my beer.
Yeah, but you called it, Jeff. I remember you said to me, Steve, this is the weekend you want to watch. If this is the best weekend, and you were right, man. It certainly was. But maybe we can beat it, Jeff. Maybe we can go even better today. What do you think? So we got the two big games today. We got the AFC Championship game, Bengals versus the Chiefs, and then later tonight we've got the NFC Championship game.
I'm going to start off with. Yeah, I was going to start off with this. I really was hoping they would switch these games around because I really think the Bengals Chiefs is going to be the better of the two games.
Okay, but here's my take as a casual fan. I think for the casuals, which let's be honest, the majority of people that are going to be watching these games are probably casual fans, right? Mm. I think the 49ers Rams looks the bigger game to the casual fan.
Oh yeah, it's LA versus San Fran.
Yeah,
no doubt.
So I think that's why they've done it. But I agree. I think the Bengals Chiefs is probably going to be the much better game to watch to the more hardcore fan that knows his football. But I think that's why they've done that. That's the only thing I can think of, or unless there was some kind of contractual obligation.
It's probably it's time slots. You get to pick your time slot. So
yeah, so it might be that.
That's done.
But so Bengals Chiefs. I mean, on paper, there's no way the Bengals win this game, right?
On paper, if you don't win on paper, I mean, the line right now is 7 for KC by 7 and over under. They're expecting a high scoring game, 54.5. But yeah, on paper, you would think this would be Bengals. But let me tell you, the Chiefs.
Hang on, you think it'd be Chiefs? You mean on paper?
Chiefs on paper, yes.
Yeah.
So, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yep, Chiefs on paper. But you saw last week what Josh Allen did to that Kansas City defense, especially those cornerbacks and safeties. Now, in Chiefs defense, Tyrann Mathieu, I think his name is, was out with a concussion early on in that game last week. So he's supposed to be coming back today. So that will help them. But they just got torched last week by Josh Allen. And Joe Burrow, this guy's been lighting it up for the last 7-8 weeks.
Yeah.
So don't sleep on these Bengals.
So you're saying the Chiefs are there to be got at?
Oh, 100%. If there's get it out, Jeff. This is the time Chiefs will be had right today.
So is that the game plan you think that the Bengals have going into this? Is that let's just score as much as we can on them and just hope that our defense holds up better than theirs?
Because here's what I'm thinking the Bengals are going to do. Don't be surprised with the Bengals if they go for it a lot. It's going to be like Madden out here today because they're like, I can't let Patrick Mahomes get the ball because they're going to score. I mean that Bengals defense their front four is good, like I said, but that back end, I mean they're terrible. So Mahomes should have a field day with them.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to score in the 30s to win this game.
Okay, well that'd be
But with that Bengals offense, man, and they could do it very easily.
You watch the Bengals win this 3-0.
Yeah, watch it be a 10-6 ball game.
But is there any notable injuries for either teams in that game that we know of? Any big players that we've heard of that are maybe injured or out? Or I haven't heard anything.
The only one that I know of is Matthew, the safety for all-world safety, linebacker, whatever you want to call him. He plays everything.
Yeah.
But let me look. But I'm pretty sure he's coming back today. I know he is because he was doing Friday. He was practice,
Yeah.
but for the Bengals, without looking it up, I
Yeah.
don't know.
I haven't heard no, because like if
They're
it
all
was
world players are good.
yeah,
Just so you know.
if it was big, we'd have seen it. I think so. So you're gonna give us a prediction on that game, Jeff? I mean, I know you said it's going to be a big shootout, but I mean,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Chiefs by, I think, over 7 points.
I got Bengals 36-28. I mean, Chiefs. Excuse me, Chiefs.
Chiefs
God damn.
36-28. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So I think but who knows, right? I mean, this season's been crazy. This has been like. If any of you out there like to have a bet on football like I do, I hope you've had a better season than me, because these games have just been they've been great to watch. But
Yeah, how many times this year, Steve, when we were talking on Sunday, you were like, you would say, Jeff, things are starting to pan out. The teams that are supposed to win are starting to do that, and then just the opposite happens for like two or three
yeah,
weeks in
because
a row.
I can't remember exactly when it was, right? But it was like this. It was crazy, and then we had about 2 or 3 weeks where it did just kind of start to make a bit of sense again, and then it all went to shit again. It was like, what the? I don't know.
Yeah.
So but it was a great season. I've really enjoyed it. So, and then tonight the 49ers and the Rams. I mean, I don't. What's the line on that game?
3.5 favored by the Rams, and the over under is 45.5.
Okay. So how do you see that game?
I think. Let me get this right. I think the 49ers have beat the Rams 6 straight times.
Really?
Yeah.
That does surprise me.
Yeah, this is the 3rd meeting of the year. So,
I mean,
don't sleep on the 49ers.
I mean, the 49ers seem to be that team this season that, every game we're kind of saying, they're not going to win this one, and then they do, But they can't do it again. They can't beat these Rams, surely. I mean, I think OBJ is loving football right now, and I think he's so happy, and I think he's going to have a huge game.
He should, because, the 49ers defense is good. They have trouble in that back end, just like everybody else. I know I keep harping on it, but the 49ers back end is ranked 31st in the league out of 32.
Yeah.
What do the Rams do best? Throw the ball.
Right, okay.
Throw the ball. And, I mean, you got all-world receivers over there, and then you got Akers, and you got Higbee, the tight end. I mean, but I will say this is Matthew Stafford's first big-time game. I mean, this is for it, man. Go to the Super Bowl. I mean, he's a good quarterback, but he's never made it this far. Is he going to have the jitters? I mean,
do you know what I think we're gonna? Do you know what I think we're gonna see tonight? Right, the Rams are known for a lot of these. I don't know what you call them, like not trick plays, but like they do these like cool plays. These what do you call them? Trick play kind of thing. I think we might see some of that tonight. I think they might pull like they did. What was it in that game where Stafford hands it off to OBJ, and then he did that throw and stuff.
That
I don't
rainbow brought down the rain throw.
Yeah. I think we might see some stuff like that tonight. I don't know. Just we'll have to see.
Let's take Tony's. Tony, 100%. They have to. The Niners have to get pressure on Matthew Stafford. And look, Matthew Stafford he's not that good on his feet. So he's a statue. He's a sitting duck. I mean, he's above. He's average. He's not above average for a quarterback, but I mean, get him off his spot, just like any quarterback. I mean, the 49ers are gonna test Matthew Stafford.
Thanks for that, host Venom. How you doing, mate? So I mean, I still think the Rams win this game. I'll be honest with you. I hope the Rams win this game just because I would prefer to watch them in the Super Bowl than the 49ers. That's no disrespect to like 49ers and their fans and stuff like that. I'm a neutral, but just for me, entertainment wise, I guess as a more casual fan, I just prefer watching the Rams, I think, than the 49ers. So I would like to see the Rams and the Chiefs I think for me would probably be the most entertaining Super Bowl.
That would probably be most entertaining, but let me tell you this. Everybody wants to see the 49ers Bengals because they had a rivalry in the 80s in Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So everybody wants to be like, oh, look, they played in the 80s, And a lot of people are calling for that 49ers Bengals Super Bowl, but I'm going with both home teams. I got the Rams in a close one, though. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as people think. I think it just is like a 21-17 game, 24-17, something like that.
Well,
I don't think it's going to be high.
I think the higher scoring, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but the way I see it is the higher scoring the game is, the more it goes in the Rams' favor.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
So I think the 49ers will be looking to keep this as low scoring as they can.
And unless the Rams start doing what they did against Tampa Bay last week and start turning the ball over, because Akers, until last week, I think he said in his whole career he turned the ball over once, and he did it twice last week. So
Yeah.
And so did Cooper Kupp. Never had a turnover, and he fumbled. So is that the Brady factor?
So give us a couple of players to look out for in these games, Jeff. Who should we be looking out for the 49ers to step up? Big players for big games, Jeff.
It's got to be Deebo Samuel, but I will say this: Deebo, he's hurt, he's injured, he's not going to be 100%. So I'm looking at that San Francisco running back Elijah Mitchell.
Okay.
I look out for him to have a big game against this Rams. You can run on the Rams if you run at Aaron Donald. You can run on these Rams because they're not. Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to beat you throwing it. So
yeah,
you're going to rely on that defense and that running game is how I see it.
Okay. And what about for the Rams? Who should we look out for?
Well, of course, everybody's going to say Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, but then we've seen it recently in games. Like a team, everyone knows Cooper Kupp's the danger man, so they double team him. They take him out,
and that's why OBJ is having a revised career here.
Yeah. So what do you do if you're the 49ers today? Do you double team Kupp or what?
Well, I'll say you double and you make Odell Beckham, Tyler Higbee, the tight end, and Van Jefferson beat you. Van Jefferson's the other wide receiver.
Yeah,
and you can't let Cooper Kupp have one of these 9 receptions, 183 yards that he had last week. You can't let him do that. I don't know what Tampa Bay was thinking, but Cooper Kupp gets 8 catches for 100 yards, game, set, match, it's over, because then you bring the running game into play, which they don't run the ball that well, but they do continually try to run, if you know what I'm saying. They don't abandon the run. They don't care if they get 2 yards of carry. They're gonna continue the run. McVay is good like that. So
okay, so if the 49ers tie up Cooper Kupp like they're going to have to, then I guess we're eyes are on OBJ, are they? For
OBJ, Van Jefferson, and Higbee, Tyler Higbee, yeah.
Okay, and then what about for the Chiefs, Jeff? Who do we look out for today for the Chiefs?
Chiefs, who the hell knows? They got so many weapons, man. Because you try to take Tyreek Hill out, Kelsey would get you. Then you take those two out, you can have Hardman and Pringle. I mean,
so basically, it's just watch Mahomes and whoever he decides to throw the ball to.
Yeah, I mean, to me, you're praying that Mahomes has one of those off days.
Yeah, Mahomes has a good game, then it's GG, right? But what about?
They have too many weapons over there on that Kansas City side, man. But I would say this: watch for Edwards-Helaire, the running back. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a good game today.
Okay. And for the Bengals, Jeff, last game, just who should we keep an eye out for on the Bengals today?
I would go with for the Bengals. Everybody's going to go with Chase, but I'm going to see Tyler Boyd have a breakout game.
Tyler Boyd
he only had 2. Tyler Boyd, and don't sleep on Joe Mixon, man. He's a little banged up, but that guy's a baller. He'll run you over. He gives no shits. He don't give 2 shits, man. That guy's a baller.
All right, guys. Well, there you go. Just giving you some players to keep an eye out for if you're a more casual fan like myself. Keep an eye out for those players today. Just thinks they're going to be key and hopefully have great games. And hopefully those games are really good, and I'm looking forward to it. But is there anything else you want to mention or talk about on these games, Jeff? Before we move on.
On these games, nah.
Right. Okay. So
I'm good
let's.
with today's games,
Okay.
unless you
So
have something.
no, if you got any questions in chat or anything like that, just pop them in there and we'll get to them. So what we want to do now, I think, Jeff, is just go and cover some news around the NFL. So if we just go over to, let's see, if we go here. So do you want to talk about that? Can you see that?
Ooh, what is that?
I don't know why that didn't work, but
Uh, 40.
so you gave me this picture. The 49ers and Bengals
Mm,
both reached the conference championship after finishing last in their divisions in 2020.
yeah, and
That's
that's
crazy.
it shows. It tells you that it's how fast. I don't like the term in the, at least the NFL as rebuilding, because of free agency and everything. You well, they show it right here. You go from last to first. I mean,
Yeah.
you can turn your team around very, very quickly. So it doesn't shock me. I hate the term rebuilding in NFL, because as long as you have a decent quarterback, you don't have to be a top 5 quarterback, but if you have a top 10, top 20 quarterback, you can win games in the NFL.
And
So
talking of quarterbacks that has won a few games in the NFL. What about this guy, Jeff? Can you see that? Big Ben.
oh yeah, he finally came out and said he was retiring. Yeah, look,
So
he's going to Canton. I'll see his ass in Canton. But
what's
no, more power to him. He played a long time, 18 years with one
yeah,
team. You don't see that very often with one team.
yeah, no,
Um,
definitely.
2 Super Bowls,
Two Super Bowl rings, 165 wins, eight AFC North titles,
100%,
and
Tony,
418
100%.
passing touchdowns. All it takes is getting a few players in the off season, and it can change your team around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
definitely.
get one quarterback. Tony will tell you, get one quarter. They had the people, they had the players, they just didn't have the quarterback. As soon as they got Brady, look, boom, Super Bowl. Yeah,
So tell us, Jeff. Right, Big Ben. Right, where does he rank in terms of quarterbacks? Because obviously we've had great quarterbacks recently that have hung up their boots. You know, Peyton Manning was my guy. You know, I enjoyed watching him. Where does Big Ben rank? You know, when you're talking about the likes of Manning and Brady and where
man,
is?
you gotta give the man some due.
But he's not up there, is he, with
He
them,
he's
or is he?
no, he's no Manning or Brady in my opinion.
So he would be just below that, or
He's Are you talking all time or
yeah,
just
yeah,
right
it's
now?
his career all time. You know, if you think of him at his peak, at his best, how far
He's not.
behind is he?
He's top 10 maybe.
Okay,
And you got to give him his due, man. Yeah, he won the Super Bowl in his second year as a
yeah.
quarterback. You don't see that happen very often.
All right, well,
And
Big Ben, we salute you, sir.
and look,
Have a good
and
one.
listen to this. He never had a losing record
Never had a losing
in
record.
the 18 seasons.
Really? Damn.
Mm-mm.
Well,
8-8.
you gotta give him some props.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say. I don't respect the guy, but at all.
Well, no, I mean,
But for his quarterback
but for
play,
what
I
he's done
mean,
on the field,
yeah.
you gotta, he's had a good career.
Let's hope Tony's got something in the chat.
With the teams Ben had, should he have won more Super Bowls?
Tony, I think he should have won more Super Bowls early in his career, not on the backside, because they had some great teams over there. I mean, shit, you had Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, for crying out loud, and he couldn't win. But yeah,
Yeah.
you would have thought he would have had. He had 2. I think he could have easily had 3 or 4.
So
100%.
he has had a great career. He has got some great stats there, but are we saying that he should have done better?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
early in his career, because he
Earlier in
had
his
more.
career. Yeah.
He had not the last 5 years. He doesn't have. I mean, he's won, but he doesn't have like great players.
Okay.
Like his early years, he had great players because they didn't rely on Ben in his early years. They were a running game.
Yeah. Hmm.
They would just pound you to death. But of course, then once the game evolved to like throwing the ball 50 times a game, he had to start that.
Well, Yeah, I mean, talking of quarterbacks that maybe retiring or
Is this the elephant in the room?
well, no, not that elephant. There's one other person that we do need to talk about, and it's this guy here. Certain guy by the name of Aaron Rodgers, Jeff.
Aaron Rodgers.
So,
Aaron Rodgers.
I mean,
So many guys. Mm-hmm.
yes, so many guys' contracts are up or on the brink. Lots of decisions to be made. I don't want to be part of a rebuild if I'm going to keep playing. Aaron Rodgers on his future at the Green Bay Packers. How do you
And look
take
at that
that?
face. That looks like a defeated man right there, doesn't it?
I don't know if that's defeat, because I don't think Aaron Rodgers even understands what the word defeat means. That to me looks like I'm just done. I'm out of here. I'm done.
Well, going into this game, Steve, when you asked me this, I believe last week, maybe it was we were just talking on Discord, but I can't remember. But anyway, you asked me what you think if Aaron Rodgers is going to go somewhere, and at the beginning of the season, I was like, yeah, he's gone. And then as the season progressed, stuff came out, and he said he made amends, and he looked happy. He didn't give two shits. And then this COVID stuff came up, but I would said he's staying. He's staying in Green Bay. Now, I'm like, that guy's tired of losing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
How much do you put that on Aaron Rodgers? A lot, in my opinion. But I think he's gone. I don't think he's going to retire. He pretty much said that on the Pat McAfee show. He said he knows one thing, and that I'm not retiring. So now somebody's going to have to give up some draft picks. I think he goes to Denver.
You said you think he goes to. So just going back to that game, right? Like, I remember seeing him walk off like that, and like I said, that looked like a guy to me that's just like, whatever, I'm done. And the way that his face there to me, right? That's kind of how that team looked in that game. It's almost as if they had this conversation before the game, and he was like, guys, after whatever happens, I'm not going to be your quarterback next season, and it kind of felt to me like the team played half-heartedly, knowing that, like they were like, well, he's leaving us. You know what? I don't know.
The defense played well. It was that offense got confused. What the hell they were doing?
Yeah, but I don't know, but I would imagine that the offense are linked differently to the quarterback, right? Because obviously your quarterback doesn't throw to your defense, does he? He throws to your offense, and some of those players might have felt a bit, oh, he's leaving us. I don't know, because that's how it felt to me anyway. And I think there was conversations had before that game, because those players, they did not look like players. The offense in that game, they did not look like players to me that were playing with their heart, and I don't know.
Look, even when Aaron Rodgers missed that game because of COVID, their offense still clicked. Like Aaron Rodgers was still there, even though Jordan Love didn't have the best game. He's not that good, but they still moved the ball up and down. And after he went down and scored that touchdown, the opening drive of the game,
yeah,
man, they were actually driving again on the second possession, and then there was a crucial fumble by the tight end. And after that point, Aaron Rodgers could do nothing.
Yeah.
And then I'm wondering if it got in his head. It was like, oh, shit, here we go again type thing. Best record in the league again, or in the NFC, and then here we go.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible.
Look, let me tell you this little stat. A lot of people probably don't know. In the Packers playing at home, in all their years, their first 14 playoff games, they were 14-0. 14-0. You know what they are in their last 14?
What's that?
7-7.
What the heck?
People used to be scared going into Lambeau. They ain't scared no more. And they're not scared, obviously, of playoff Aaron Rodgers. Now, regular season Aaron Rodgers, I'd be scared about. He'll light your ass up. Playoff Aaron Rodgers with 11-10 record, not scared.
You don't think when the playoffs come around they swap him out, dear, for that guy that was in the field a few games back? The lookalike, his twin brother or whatever.
Yeah, that's definitely. They think There was a rumor, conspiracy theory that was thrown out there when that guy showed up, and they said that Aaron Rodgers really died during COVID. This is his double
Oh God, yeah,
because of his mullet. It's not funny, but funny.
yeah. Well, so I mean, what teams do we know of at the moment that Aaron Rodgers could potentially go to? I mean,
There's
obviously,
only two.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but like, how many teams are there that are needing a quarterback? I mean, your guys need a quarterback, really, don't they?
Yeah, the Eagles are going to do their due diligence to try to get him over. Howie Roseman, our general manager, he likes to make the splash move. But
Is there any chance? Is there any way it happens?
nah,
Not
no
okay.
way.
So right,
No way.
the Steelers obviously are going to need a quarterback. Is there any way Aaron Rodgers can go to Pittsburgh?
He's good friends with Mike Tomlin. The only reason I'm saying he won't go to Pittsburgh is because they can't afford him. They
Okay.
don't have a lot of draft capital, and their cap is not very good. And here's another thing: the Rooney family, who owns the Steelers, they don't pay big time money like that. They they
Yeah.
they just don't.
And
They'll
then
let you go 5 years in before they pay you.
I guess
So,
now we can kind of tie this in with the other breaking news that's over this weekend.
I got one more thing before Aaron
Oh yeah,
Rodgers, though.
yeah.
The reason why I think he's going to Denver is because the offensive coordinator from Green Bay just was hired for the Broncos head coach.
Oh yeah, I
So
remember you telling me this. Yeah.
yeah, so that's why I would say it's 90% Denver, 10% no 5% Steelers, and 5% the rest of the league.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, do you think he'll get on all right up there at Mile High? Do you think that altitude will suit Rodgers?
Well, here's the thing: his wife or fiance just moved to Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Just saying. What is this?
What?
What do you Venom? What is that all about, dude?
Anyway, so the other thing that I just wanted to bring up was there is another team that might be on the lookout for a quarterback. Is there any way that Aaron Rodgers could be playing football in Tampa Bay next season, Jeff?
Would that be something you lose one, go to another?
I mean, for those of you that have been on Mars the last 24 hours and haven't heard the news, people are saying that Tom Brady could be retiring. And
Yeah, it's been debunked by his dad and his agent as well.
so, now the thing is, right, is everyone's kind of quickly coming out and, retracting and taking stuff back, and we're trying to roll this all back. But this 100% feels to me like it's absolutely true. It's absolutely happening, but somebody just got excited and jumped the gun. Because this
I
is not
agree
the
with that.
time. This is not the time before these big championship games to be releasing this information, because these people are
Yeah.
smart. Tom Brady's smart. He will have a whole timeline set out for when he wants to announce this. He knows his brand and all that. It just
Right.
somebody has just jumped the gun here, surely, Jeff.
Yeah, I agree. Because not very often do the Adam Schefters, Ian Rappaports, the insiders of the NFL, tweet this out and it not be true. Something this big
Yeah.
with Tom Brady, because Tom Brady retiring is big news. I don't care who you are,
Well,
or if you like him or dislike him, but that's big news. And Tom Brady, I think if he was going to do it, he was going to do it next week, because in between you got a week off in between for the Super Bowl. So
yeah.
So I think he was probably going to retire this week,
Yeah.
if I had to guess.
Yeah. The reason why I think that it's true and that it is happening, and this is crazy, but Sky Sports News over here reported it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they don't report nothing until it is absolutely signed, sealed, delivered, confirmed, and because they got to be so careful, because if they say one wrong thing, then So the fact that even they reported on it, to me, and I think didn't the NFL even tweet out thank you, and
Yeah,
all
ESPN did as well.
There's no way that all these big companies and parties are tweeting this stuff out, and it's
I agree.
definitely it's 100% in my opinion definitely happening. It was just somebody jumped the gun, And I think,
Somebody's getting
Brady's
TB12 right now, bro.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Somebody in that inner circle is now out.
Yeah. Well,
Whoever leaked
it's
that shit.
yeah. I mean, it could kill morale, Venom, but it's not even so much about morale because their season's over now. That they're out until
Yeah.
next season, so the players would have known. That conversations would have happened in house. They would have known about stuff like that. I would assume, Jeff, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
It's not so much that; it's more the financial knock-on effect that it can have for these players because when someone like Tom Brady leaves, it does. Can you explain a bit about how that can affect players like with their contracts and financially as well, Jeff? Something like this.
Oh yeah, you got it's gonna affect Gronkowski because if Tom Brady is definitely retiring, Gronk's not gonna catch another pass if it's not Tom Brady. So I think that affects Gronk as well. I think he goes back into retirement again.
Yeah.
So if it also affects like the free agents. If I don't know how many free agents because I haven't looked into Tampa Bay, but
Yeah.
I don't know how many free. It will affect them. If people people want to play for Tom. No matter if you like him or dislike him, people will play for Tom Brady because he's Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to affect free agents. It's going to
Yeah.
affect their impending free agents. It's like, hey, Tom Brady's not here. Let me go here. Let me go. I don't want to come back.
So basically, at the moment, loads of people are loading up the station wagons and they're heading out of Tampa now, Jeff. Right? Is that what we're saying?
and let me go back to Tom. This leaked information, true or not true, too. Tom Brady is not a dumb guy, by
Far
any
from it.
stretch.
Far from it.
He doesn't want to take away from the Final Four this weekend. He didn't want, if it's true, he didn't want this to get leaked. He's not that type of person.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I don't like Tom Brady, I can respect him. He's a great businessman as well. He knows how to play it, So that's why I thought it was going to come out later this week, not Saturday afternoon,
Yeah.
right, and a few hours before game,
Mm-hmm.
So somebody's getting an ass whooping, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was probably somebody that just wanted a bit of clout, because it's all about the clout these days, Jeff. Right? It's
Gotta be first.
Got to be first. Not Not doesn't matter if you're right. You just have to be first. Now on this occasion, we actually think that whoever it was is first and also right. But usually it's just about being first. But anyway, I mean, if it is true, respect to Tom Brady. He's had a fantastic career. Whether you like the guy, hate the guy, whatever, nobody can deny that he is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He's been
not only
fantastic
that, probably athlete of all time.
Right. Exactly. I mean, so respect to the guy, and I hope he enjoys his retirement. He deserves it. But I think this might be the last we see of Tom Brady, in the NFL in regards to actually playing in games. But I don't think this is the last we're going to see of Tom Brady.
Well, look, no, 100% not. He just started his Brady brand. But look, how funny is he does retire? Last team he beat was the damn Philadelphia Eagles. That will be a trivia. That will be a trivia question coming up soon because Tom Brady, he won't admit this. He hated losing to the Eagles and Nick Foles in that Super Bowl. So all he wanted to do was whip the Eagles' ass, right? So, hey, I got my revenge,
Yeah.
Look, not really, but
we take what we can get, Jeff. Right? We take what we can get.
Yeah.
So
screw you, Tom Brady.
Is there any other news you've heard of or you want to cover, Jeff, before we wrap things up here?
There's a big rumor. I don't know if this is true or not, but it looks like Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator for Bill Belichick in New England, could be going to the Raiders.
The Raiders.
I don't know if that's final yet, Tony. If you're still in here, you maybe confirm. But I just got a thing on here saying Raiders hiring Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels as head coach, Dave Ziegler as general manager.
So
I haven't looked at much because I was busy. I told you that before we
Yeah.
stepped on here, but I haven't looked at much stuff this morning. But that's big time because I always thought Josh McDaniels would be the heir apparent to Belichick.
Right, yeah.
When he retired, because he's been with him for years. He turned down the Colts job a few years ago. He actually accepted it and then said, right before he signed the contract, he's like, "Nope, I'm not. I'm going back to New England."
This is completely I mean, it's not off topic, but it's just popped in my head. I wanted to ask you about this. One player that obviously has impressed a lot of people this season is Jonathan Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
He really, I mean, he's been a superstar. I mean,
Beast mode.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he wins MVP, but he's in the conversation, right?
Yeah.
But
Aaron Rodgers probably wins that MVP.
Aaron Rodgers, well, yeah, he probably. I mean, he should do, but yeah,
It's Rodgers or Brady.
yeah. But what I wanted to ask you, Jeff, was like, I mean, a player like Jonathan Taylor, does he still is? I mean, I know he's on a rookie contract to work, but is he still going to be at the Colts next season? Because there's got to be teams out there that would give God knows what for that guy, surely.
They're not going to trade it, Jonathan.
Although you did say to me once that guys in his position are actually, they're not too few and far between. There are a lot of
they're replaceable. Running backs are a dime a dozen. If you get the right running back in a scheme, that's why you don't see them pay much after a rookie deal. After their 5 years are up,
yeah.
Some of them are 4 years. You don't see the original team that drafted them. You don't see them a lot of times pay them big bucks because they wear them out for the first 4 or 5 years, and they're like, okay, we can go get another running back. That's why the average lifespan of a running back, Steve, this will probably blow your mind, is only 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Damn. So he probably will stay, you think, at the Colts?
I think he stays with the Colts. Yes.
Yeah.
The Colts are looking for a quarterback, just so you know.
Venom says Brady bringing the Bucks back from a 23-point deficit and taking the game into overtime was pretty damn impressive. It's just Brady doing Brady things, Jeff, right? He's been doing it all his career.
Yeah, I mean, he did it in the Super Bowl, down 28-3 to Atlanta.
I mean, this is what makes the guy such a legend, is that, yes, it is impressive, but we're kind of like, just what Brady does, right?
Right. And this is another thing, too. It's going to Brady. It's like, you get a field goal, take a 3-point lead, right? And it's like you leave Brady with 45 seconds,
Yeah,
does it surprise you? No. That's why, to the casual fan that's watching it, was probably like, holy shit. But the guys that's been watching him for 20 years or however many years he's played, it's like, this is what Tom Brady does. It's nothing surprises me with this guy. That's why I told you he was over there on that Microsoft Surface tablet dialing in Satan right there. He sold his soul there, bro. Down 27-3, man. Come on.
Yeah. So yeah, is there anything else you wanna bring up, Jeff, before we wrap this up here, or are we done?
No. I will just let everybody know we will be doing a show during Pro Bowl week, so we will be back next week.
Yeah, so the Pro Bowl is next Sunday, is it?
Next Sunday, yes.
Right, on the 6th of February. So we will be going live again probably before that game, probably a couple hours before that game or so. But keep an eye on our Twitter, and we'll post again on there to let you know exactly what time. But and also obviously follow the YouTubes, guys. If you haven't, everything's on our Twitter, so just go to @the_endzone_ in between end zone on Twitter, and you can see everything on there. Thanks to everyone that has stopped by today, everyone that's supported us. We do appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I hope you've taken on Jeff's pearls of wisdom here, and if you are having a few bets today on the games, bet responsibly, bet safely, and bet lucky. So Jeff, thank you ever so much. I know you've had a hectic day today, and I hope you managed to sort everything out, and I hope you enjoy the games tonight.
Just so you know, I only got this amount of water left.
There we go.
Water.
There we go. We timed it perfectly.
I got no water. But thank you, Steve, once again.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks again, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Enjoy the games. And we will see you all before the Pro Bowl next Sunday. Keep an eye on our Twitter, guys. We'll be posting on there. So enjoy the games. We will see you soon. We are going to be out for now. We will see you soon, guys. Let's see.
Later, guys.